Hello and welcome to Blues View. I'm Paul Bradley and I'm joined on the phone now by Birmingham City correspondent Colin Tatham. Hi Colin.
Hello.
Well, it was a draw at the weekend for Birmingham City. Next game is Sunderland at home. And just how big a game is that for Birmingham City, Colin?
Again, it's another massive one at St Andrews. They really need to take care of business, and it's very much like the Bolton Wanderers game. They had to win that one to get the 3 points. And a draw at Blackburn, one of the sort of teams battling down there with them, will only be a good draw if they get all the share of the spoils against Sunderland on Saturday and see them off, and also that would drag Sunderland right into the mix as well.
So obviously a huge game, like you said there, but there's always that niggling of the growing injury list. Well, maybe not growing, but the long injury list at Birmingham City at the moment.
Yeah, it's a source of frustration, I know, to the manager that certain players that you would term, some of their big players who could make a difference perhaps have either since Wembley not been fit or available or just, been out of form. Not having Zigic, Martins, Bentley and now Beausejour, that has been a problem because it's reduced the options and maybe it has made Birmingham a little bit more predictable. But on the flip side of that, Alex McLeish has put his faith in players who are tried and trusted, who are experienced campaigners, and in the last couple of games, their attitude and the way they've played it, it's been rewarded. The sort of Bowyers, Ferguson's, Carrs, and Phillips, players like those have been around the block, and at present they're the ones that are going to dig Birmingham out of trouble.
I'm just looking at a couple of individuals now, starting off with Liam Ridgewell. His mistake at the weekend could have proved costly. What sort of player is Ridgewell? Is he going to be able to kind of bounce back from this and put it behind him?
Yeah, he should be. I mean, Liam Ridgewell went through this phase earlier in his career where he sort of accidents did tend to happen around him. And this was pretty uncharacteristic of him from the last sort of couple of years at Birmingham. And I just think he had his mind on Roger Johnson, who was coming back on after a lengthy spell of treatment. And he shouldn't have done. He should have just put his foot through the ball, got it up the field. But he was aware that Johnson was near him and he was sort of distracted. And it was very poor from him, and he knows it. But he did respond very well second half. He was very strong. And I think that's a measure of him. He's tidied up his game a lot, and he is a strong character. And I don't think it will have a lasting effect on him. If anything, he'll be more determined to make sure there's no more errors like that in the future games.
And Curtis Davies came on for Johnson as well. How did he get on? He's been in the spotlight quite a lot for Blues fans the last few weeks. Yeah,
he's come into difficult situations and expected to hit the ground running, and there was none more difficult than Saturday's thrown on at half-time. Birmingham just conceded the goal, and obviously the kingpin at the back, Roger Johnson, is no longer there. We've got to say that Curtis Davies did very well. He was very strong, very decisive in everything he did, and there were no errors. And also, it must be noted that in his first challenge with Jason Roberts, he hurt his knee and he was hobbling himself for the remainder of the game, but he got through it. He helped, a very strong defensive performance, especially when Blackburn sort of piled on the pressure and went to the very route one and tried to sort of, make Birmingham buckle towards the end.
And just before you go today, Colin, looking at Birmingham City's next three fixtures, how many points do you think is reasonable for them to be looking at? And do you think that by the end of these three fixtures, they may be seeing themselves in a much safer position?
Yeah, I think at home, as I said, they've got to take care of business. Wins are vital. And then after Sunderland, it's Chelsea and Liverpool. And if they can nick a draw there, I think they'll be satisfied. And you just never know the way this league is shaping up. But the results at the weekend, with possibly a little bit of daylight emerging, and also psychologically that the bottom three have been in the bottom three a while now, despite some sort of good runs of form, and Blackpool are sort of on a slippery slope. So I think if Birmingham can get a win Saturday, that will give them a massive boost and maybe nick a point at Chelsea or Liverpool. Then they could well be sort of, nearing safety, because I think it's really coming to the nitty-gritty now.
OK, thanks for that, Colin. Well, we'll leave you today with some thoughts from Alex McLeish, who we spoke to after the game.
Yeah, it was much better. than the last away venture against Wigan. But we've done some big talking after the Wigan game, and to be fair, sometimes they leave that talk in the dressing room, but they've hung on every word that I've said to them, and also the what we've worked on in training. They've been excellent, and it was a tough game here today, no doubt about it, but we got ourselves in a good position. Seb's unlucky with a shot that crashed off the post.